Yo guys, we got some GM Sniper 2 gameplay to talk about today. It's my own gameplay, so we'll see how that goes. I do pop off a lot in some of the stuff, but my aim is not perfect. So, playing on first, defense, holding a decent high ground. The angles are a little bit awkward here, to be completely honest, but they're the best ones in this area. You're just vulnerable to people coming from your left. As you can see, I put down this jump pad in case something jumps on top of me, that I can use it as an extra form of escape capability. Yeah, get dove by Izaku and his Sazabi, so I have to dip. So, here's where I go on a little bit of an adventure. Instead of choosing to go back to my team here, I decided to go for a flank. It's obviously very risky, but you'll see what happens with it. So, that's 2 kills. Then I get a little bit of a couple misses here. I should have used my Vulcan pod there to finish them off because they were low. Go back to check to see they're not alive. I missed the res here, but I end up killing 2 more people there. So, very successful flank. And that is the thing about GM Sniper 2. It can do that, just because it does have the ability to move quickly, unlike something like Widowmaker. Of course, I was extremely vulnerable during that process, and if something had seen me, I probably would have died without getting a kill. But yeah, so now I'm playing a lot more of a defensive option. For the first like half of this video, I don't really use my, okay, I thought I didn't use this, but I did. And, you know, all right, you use those, you get sights on the enemy sniper, and you kill them. Unfortunately, we keep getting pushed back here. Even though I got the kill on the GM sniper. And then I'm getting cooked and killed. I'm not really sure what happened to my team there. I won the duel, so I did my job. And then I was beginning to participate in the rest by trying to force out that Zaku. But so usually I would say to just swap at this point, because the Sightlines stop being advantageous here. But I chose to stay on just for the sake of having a good clip for the character and showing the ways that I can play in small areas. In my guide, I talked about knowing where the enemy GM sniper is, and if they don't, you can just die. Well, there you go. I didn't know where the GM sniper was. I overextended a little bit, and I died because of it. So even though things are on B, I am checking a little bit just for some people who are standing out towards main or walking back in, see if I get a quick little pick on them. I do end up finding the enemy GM sniper and securing the kill. Of course, I end up getting jumped on by an RX-78 and a Zaku, but I still traded for the GM sniper, and if I hadn't gotten jumped on like that, they wouldn't have been able to res it, and I probably would have lived that situation. So it wasn't terrible. Again, it's just getting towards an awkward situation where you don't really want to be playing GM sniper in this area. It's back to being good-ish. Not perfect, but it's still pretty good. Viable. Yeah, don't be too predictable. Don't just stand in front of a GM sniper because you think that they can't kill you. They can. Of course, I had to run, and they rezzed the Zaku, but I still got that kill. And that right there is also a portion of how powerful GM sniper really is, that it can knock down a tank from 80% HP, 90% HP. I think it's 80%. It's a lot. I needed to keep running. Retaking here, I would like to see myself use my ultimate next time, just so I can give my whole team an idea where everyone is. I do end up securing a kill, 2 kills, and then these guys end up pulling up on me from behind. So that's basically like what a lot of the situation is. When you get these tight corridor maps, you can play well and you can click on heads and you can pop off like I just did. But you kind of just end up getting killed randomly just because enemies aren't where you expect them to be. There really wasn't a reasonable reason for them to be behind me there, but they were, and so I die. Here you're going to see me make a big feed because I want to go get that kill. And then I just barely miss. I could have stopped all that. But yeah, if I'm playing another character, let's say I'm playing an RX-78, I can take that duel a lot more consistently. which is why you want to play a character like ARC-78 here instead of GM Sniper, where if I drop into that, even if I find out like there's a Sosby I didn't know was there, I can go chase the Zaku, kill it, which, you know, I could have done on GM Sniper, I just mess it up. But then I could actually consistently win a fight against a Sosby like this character. We'll lose to a Sosby from close range like 100% of the time. Just with the way that this map's designed also, it's forcing me into close range situations. I should have dashed there. I don't really know why I didn't. One of my earlier gameplay clips, I was still getting used to that whole thing. But again, yeah, I like to see myself ult. Good. A little bit hard to hit a Pale Rider that's using Hades because that makes you super fast. But these kind of things are really powerful. You don't always need to be killing the enemies that are the main primary objective. I end up choosing to go for the Sosby that's coming through choke instead. And unfortunately, I started reloading here. Because I'm used to a shorter reload time. And I didn't, you know, I just a bad habit, to be honest. You'll see me reload a lot too early. When I shouldn't be. And it's causing me to end up getting like a lower damage output and getting caught in awkward situations where I needed to reload and I didn't need to reload, but I did. So I ended up losing the first round of this. But now we're back to a situation where GM Sniper is good. Although, again, we're just going to get some more little weirdness here. So I see him on the high ground. And there's a Zaku behind me. I should have instantly dashed back to spawn. Instead I dashed into my team. And then there's, of course, I'm stuck between, you know, a Zaku and a ARC-78. So should have gone into the spawn. So this is an okay sideline. I'd like to see myself go out towards the right side. It's a little bit more predictable, but it'll give me a better sideline towards the high ground. And I can also see out towards here. In this game, you really want to be making sure you're securing your kills when you get something on sniper, because it's just something, those ones will get rezzed a lot more frequently. If you're playing Sosby and you kill something, the chances that it's going to be rezzed are very low. But if you kill you kill something that's close by to a wall or something like that, there's a very high chance it's going to get rezzed. So just, it's okay, put an extra bullet into it. Like this ARC-78 here. Not used to how fast gun tank can res, and the whole rezzing concept in general, because this is the first game I played that really has it. And I'm not putting any time into Apex or anything like that. So it's not quite in my, like, you know, stuff I'm used to. I use my res here because I was forgetting to use it before, and so I was like, oh, you know, time to res. But in a situation like that where it's a safe one and there's a teammate nearby, it's better for them to use it. I ended up using this ultimate because I didn't really know how many people were alive on my team and their team, so I wasn't counting it. Just because I was getting used to the game and stuff like that. But didn't really need it. We secured it very fine. It'd be better to have it for the next point. I'm clicking on a lot of heads though, so that's pretty good. That is your one real job on this character, is just to click on heads. It gets very hard here. You have to start going away into these side angles. It's still doable. Some of the areas on the second point here are like surprisingly long, like this left angle where you can shoot through the grates and stuff like that. But it's still not ideal at all. And if I was playing normally, I would have, like, I'd obviously have to play a life because you can't just swap. But I would have tried to swap as soon as I could. If their load is Vulcan them, you can also use Vulcan gun or Vulcan pod at the same time as a regular primary fire. So you don't need to like choose between the two. You do need to choose between which one you're going to try and like aim properly, but you can still use both of them. So right here you're going to see just yeah, I don't really know if they should have these gates being able to be shot through, because it's too good of a sight line here, to be honest. It doesn't have to be a GM sniper holding this. It could be something else. Ulting here would have been worth. I also just have this very much locked down, so I'm not really too concerned about like how any of this is going to go down, but 1 kill, 2 kills. Can't get the other one because it's body blocked. Again, this is an excellent angle. Easy cover on either side. They'd have to flank all the way around to really get to you. Thought something was behind me, but there wasn't. So like I said, this is solid. GM Sniper tries to res. Or tries to diffuse, blow them up in the fastest as possible. Anybody who starts diffusing should be prioritized, of course. You only really need to tickle them. You don't even need to take a proper fight when you planted. You just need to stand somewhere where you can shoot whoever's on the point. And that's all you got to really focus on. Just play as slow as possible. If they try and force a diffuse, just blow them up. So I'm taking an off angle here. GM Sniper is always going to want to take off angles. If I was playing with my team on the right side over here, my sightlines would be really bad. And I'd be looking into the wall basically. And they'd all be looking at me. But now I have a 90-degree off angle here. Or 45-degree. And I'm able to just provide covering fire that they just can't even contest me at all from that range. Which is, one of the inherent issues with this character, but I decided to add it, unfortunately. Not a big fan of one-shots in these sorts of games. It just the threat of the one-shot is one of this character's biggest threats. It has the potential to just kill anything that shows up. So you have to play like really carefully around it. I shouldn't be here. I should have gone with my teammates. Unfortunately, I decided to get out of there. But it's putting me in an awkward situation where I'm solo HP. Playing on the side here is pretty good. Another option, to be honest, would be coming from the other side and just playing really late and peeking and just fragging whatever shows up from the opposite angle. But it'd be better for like a Zaku to be there than me. This is pretty good positioning. Anything that shows up, just shoot him from behind. All I have to watch out is something sneaking up on me on the right side here, which this GM does. My own little jump pad's kind of messing me up here. Not that badly, but I do end up getting dove there by the GM. There's nothing I can do about that. Except I get ignored as I'm dying here. And we end up blowing it up, so that's good. So moving on to our next round here. Obviously, I'm not really just going to try and flank all the time on this character. Like, yeah, you'll be able to pub stomp with that, especially if you're a better player than the people you're playing against, but higher players will know that. It's like I talked about in my GM Sniper 2 guide. If they have characters that can dive you don't really want to be separated from them. You don't really want to be separated from your team because you can't get any support. So they currently have an Exia and a Barbatos. Don't really want to be too far away from my team because if I get jumped on by them, I'm going to die. 100%. Unless I just hit a really good shot, which is, you don't want to be relying on mechanics for something like that. It's not a good idea to intentionally put yourself in bad situations because you can mechanically outfrag them. It's fine for like limit testing purposes, but not for like I'm actually really going to play like this all the time purposes. If I used my Vulcan bod there, after I hit him, I would have been able to kill him. But I did not. And here's another example of a bad reload. Pretty sure I had an extra bullet. Shoot him. I have 2. I choose to reload. It's a habit from just like repositioning. And I do get the kill again. We do end up retaking this just because they're all so low. And we pop my ultimate in addition to a gun tank ultimate. It feels awkward not reloading consistently, not having like as many bullets in your magazine as possible, but you have to understand there's times where you shouldn't play with there's times not to reload like right then. It's just a habit on GM Sniper 2. You need to make sure that you're finishing whatever shows up. Because if you don't finish them, they get rezzed. That Team Sniper just got rezzed twice, I think. This map is pretty good against a character like Barbatos. That's really what a character like Barbatos' weakness is. It's just, well, one, he just jumps in like like a small-brained individual, but if you're able to see them from distance, you'll be able to crush them. That was a self-imposed thing on him, but there's certain maps and stuff where certain situations where that's not an issue. I want to play aggressively. I want to play up in this position here, but the problem is that I'm starting to get threatened by this right side. And if I back up, there's a slope to the map that gives them an advantage because they can get closer to me. Round's about to end. Barbatos tries to run past me. And that's that. At this point, if they're trying to fight me, they're wasting their time. So I just stand where I am and start clicking on them. And now for our attack. Okay, immediately dead. Yeah. You have to watch for this, man. People started doing this is so cringe, but they're just waiting outside of the like right outside the spawn doors. You have to watch for them. People will do it a lot, probably. It's not a good strategy because you can stand inside the point and heal yourself. But miss a shot, die. Yeah, it's not a good strategy like on something like Junkertown on Overwatch where you can actually get a really good hold. Because in this one, you can literally just stand inside the spawn, get insta heals, be safe, and see the enemy. Which is a choice that Gundam Evolution made that Overwatch obviously did not. Don't really have full decisions on the merits of that, although spawn camping is fun, so we don't really get that as much. But pop the ult to secure this. You need to really be paying attention to how many people on your team are alive and how many people on the enemy team are alive. I'm not gonna go like, you know, get all angry at myself about this right now just because that was not what I was focusing on. I'm getting used to new abilities, getting used to new sense because I'm sure it wasn't the same in like Overwatch 1. Getting used to the maps, all that sort of stuff. But when like with time in the actual game and like towards the end of my like day 4 or 5, when I was playing like more seriously on Sazabi and GM, I would definitely expect myself not to be making that sort of mistake and wasting my ultimate because of that. This angle is really good. There's nowhere they can go on this map that's safe right now. I don't hit a lot of my shots here, but I fat finger my abilities do. But anywhere they are on the map right now, in this vicinity, they're in danger. Because I have this whole side locked down. My teammates have main locked down. This is what like a really harsh like angle pressure is. Nothing they can do about that. Except for force me out or dive me. So play your angles, guys. You will win games easily. If you haven't seen my GM Sniper 2 guide, make sure to check it out. It has all information about the abilities, when to play, how to play, strengths, weaknesses, in a really nice and small video. Thanks, guys.